Hi, welcome to another episode of Walking the Path. Today I want to talk about holistic health and well-being. I've been filming these videos for almost 2 years now, and the concept is very simple. I choose a path to walk, and as I walk I talk about life and some of the lessons and principles we can learn that help us to live life well. We're each of us on a path in life. And while everyone's path will be unique and individual to them, there are certain lessons and principles that are universally true for all of us. There are certain destinations of life that we need to know our way to, such as how to make ourselves happy, raise our self-esteem. Without knowing those things, life can be very random. And while things do happen unexpectedly and our health will go up and down, there are always things we can do, of course, to influence our condition, mentally, emotionally, and also physically. I've filmed these little videos in many places, many other countries, and this year, because of COVID-19, I've stayed close to home. And home for me is Ventnor. It's a small town on the south side of the Isle of Wight. It's on the seaside. The Isle of Wight, for those people that are maybe abroad, is in the south of England. It's quite an amazing place, Ventnor. It has a high north cliff. It creates a microclimate. It's a little warmer than other places in England, and things will grow here that don't normally grow in England. Before 1830, really, it didn't exist. And then an eminent doctor, Sir James Clark, visited this area by ship, and he wrote a report saying that this was some of the best air quality and natural spring water that he'd ever experienced. And that report was published in the London newspapers, and Ventnor was born as a health resort. And many rich Victorian nobility and gentry would come here, take the water and the air for their health. The patron goddess of Ventnor is Hygiena. She's the goddess of hygiene and good health, and she's often depicted with roses around her. This place where I am now was the site of a very large hospital. It was the Royal National Hospital for Diseases of the Chest, built in 1869, and almost for 100 years it occupied this area. And then when it came to an end in the early 60s, they built these gardens. This is the warmest botanical garden in England, and perhaps it's quite fitting that the pictures of Hygiena have roses around her, because here in the garden there are many beautiful roses and flowers. And I think the analogy of a garden is a great analogy for health and well-being, because here in the garden, of course, there are things for the body, many healing plants. It's a great place for the mind. It's calming, it's soothing to the spirit, and it's full of wonderful sensations. It's important to remember how much influence we have with our mind over our physical body. The thoughts we think trigger the release of chemicals. Those chemicals give us feelings, but of course they also influence our biology. And if we start to think overly negatively, not only do we feel negative, but also we release chemicals into our system such as cortisol and adrenaline that can send us into depression and anxiety, affecting our physical behaviour and also, of course, affecting our health. While no one in their right mind chooses to start holding dark pictures about themselves and life, it is influenced, of course, by the situations we find ourselves in. And every so often our path in life will change unexpectedly, as it has for millions of people around the world this year. And there are people finding themselves in difficult times where their work no longer exists, their income has stopped, and they are not sure how they are going to go forward for the future. They're in the middle of great change. And for this reason, I've been running a series of masterclasses 2 months ago, the masterclass was focused on using my mapping systems to create authentic happiness and peace of mind. And then last month, I run a free masterclass, making all of my tools available for people to create a goal map to raise their self-esteem, to feel good about themselves. Remember, true well-being is going to be mental, emotional, and of course physical. So this month, the masterclass will be focused on health and well-being from a physical nature. And I will be helping people use my goal mapping system to map down their best healing thoughts about themselves, the actions they can take, like walking, exercise, looking at their nutrition and diet, to help themselves send a very positive command to their subconscious mind. The thoughts that we think regularly become dominant thoughts. They influence our subconscious, and our subconscious will then move us towards the things we desire. Or sometimes, if we're thinking very negatively, we go into self-sabotage, and our subconscious actually moves us more into the things that we dread. A goal map captures your best thoughts, sends that positive command to your subconscious and to universal consciousness around you, to help you be at your best, walk your path well, live your best life. Please join me. Click the link, register for the masterclass. It's absolutely free. You can also use my goal mapping software or download the printable templates. And if you have someone you think this will be good for, please share the message and spread the good word. I look forward to seeing you. Click on the registration, 15th of December. Join the masterclass and allow me to be your guide towards a higher level of health and well-being. Thank you for listening. See you soon. Bye-bye for now.